everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm going to try and do a quick video on my 4-month postpartum update because I need to be quick because I've got to go and leave to pick Bill up in about 10 minutes, so I'm sure it won't be that long. But yes, I am actually 4.5 months postpartum now. Sorry if you can hear music in the background, but Daisy's on her playmat and it's the only way I'm going to be able to film this video, so just think of it as like a backing track, okay? Right, so I'm doing okay. I said briefly in Daisy's video that because she had a period of sickness and coughing and all of this where she was projectile vomiting feeds, I went through a really low point between about 3 months and 4 months and a week, something like that. About 5 weeks of my life was really difficult at that point because I just felt really isolated, like I couldn't get out of the house because she was being sick so much, and it was just really hard because I felt like things were supposed to be getting better and they weren't, and it was completely unrelated actually to her cleft or anything that she has. So it was just one of those things, but we've been doing really well since then. We went on our first family holiday last week. Bill is started school this week and he's doing half days, so that's why I've got to leave and pick him up soon. And Mark's had 2 weeks off as we're doing like shared parental leave, so that's been amazing. And I've just felt a lot more optimistic, and there was some points, like, you know, a few weeks back that I honestly thought that I might be, you know, struggling with maybe postnatal depression, or there was something like chemically going wrong in my head because I was really down and I wasn't able to talk about it. I didn't know what to say, and I just felt silly, like my baby's been sick a lot, like, and that's really troubling me because I'm not able to get out of the house and I'm stressed and I'm not able to keep up with, like, you know, blog work or my friends and my family and do things, and my house is a mess and I look awful, and it was all getting on top of me. But I think it was just a situational thing where just things were all getting too much, and now I'm, you know, I'm doing okay, I'm feeling fine. Mentally I am getting over things much better now, though I did watch a programme the other night and it was like Birmingham Children's Hospital, and there was a part where there was a child that was sent to special care because he'd stopped breathing, and the things that the mum was saying about her older child being like the, you know, the tonic that fixed everything and helped them to keep going really got to me. I ended up bursting into tears. And then sadly, I don't know if anybody else watched it, but that little boy, he was only 9 months old, passed away. And at one minute I was taken back to feeling very like sorry for myself and very sort of in the moment of how I used to feel and how horrible it was and how haunted I still am by the memories that I've got, like the beeps and the tubes and the wires and, you know, the machines and the doctors and not getting answers and all of that. But then the next minute when I learned that he'd passed away, it just made me realise that, like, that was a really horrible part of our life, but we're still here and she's here and we're moving on and things are getting better. And it's just sort of, it was a very random piece of perspective that I gained from watching something that we weren't even planning on watching. It was just on the telly and we ended up like flicking through, and Mark had it on while I was messing around with my phone and he was half watching it, and then all of a sudden we were both watching it and we both like shed a little bit of a tear. And it was just, it felt like I was meant to see it, and that sounds really silly, but it just makes me realise that, you know, everything's relative, and, you know, everybody's situation means a lot to them in that moment right now. But ultimately I'm just really pleased that I have my kids here, and that's all I could want for myself or any parent. And I really did feel for those parents. That little boy, it was just heartbreaking, and it's just reminded me to really count my blessings, and that's what I'm going to try and do moving forwards. Physically, I had the worst first period of my life. Like, well, it's the worst period I've ever had in my entire life actually, but it was my first postpartum one after stopping expressing, and it came about 6 weeks after stopping, and my god, it was hell. And this is really TMI, but it's a postpartum video. What were you expecting? But it was bloody bloody awful. It was like, I woke up in the middle of the night at one point and I thought I was involved in like a massacre. Like I thought I'd like killed someone in my sleep, like Mark might be dead next to me, and thankfully it wasn't. But I had to like change my pads and change my underwear and like wear 2 pads at night, and it was so weird because it was really heavy at night, and then during the day when you would expect it to be heavier because you're moving around, it was barely anything. And it stopped now, and I actually feel like with it went a lot of like weird water retention that I've been carrying around, and it kind of flushed a load of sort of like negative hormones out of me as well, if that makes sense. And it only lasted about 5 days, and I'm really glad it wasn't any longer. So it was horrid. But yeah, that was awful. And then I kind of got to the point where I am fatter than I'm fat. I am bigger than I was. I think a lot of it is actually got to do with weight gain after giving birth, with like her being in hospital. I lost a lot initially because I was so stressed I didn't eat, but then the expressing, I would eat more, and then being stuck in the house I would comfort eat, and it was kind of like a treat for me because I wasn't getting out during the day, so I just started to look to food for comfort, and I feel really bad about myself. So I've joined Slimming World, and I'm going to do a separate video on my first session, how that's going and how much I want to lose. But I am going to get my pre-pregnancy body back, and maybe then some, like maybe lose a little bit more than that and feel good about myself. I've been through a lot. I'm 28 years old and I still want to feel good about myself. In fact, it doesn't matter how old you are, you deserve to feel good about yourself. So my focus is on that now, and I'm really excited. I'm like 3 days into it now, and I have weigh-ins every Tuesday, so hopefully when I do my 5-month update I will be a little bit slimmer maybe. But it's just, you can see it on my face, I'm contoured and I'm wearing a turtleneck, which is very forgiving, but I am bigger. It's mainly like my arms and my legs put weight on first, and my waist still stays the same, but my tummy's a bit saggy as well. So I'll show you my belly quickly and then I'll let you go. So this is my belly with clothes on, and as you can see my leggings are still cutting into me a little bit there, and then without them, this is it. Got a nice little legging line there, but it's just podgy, isn't it, and it jiggles and it's not nice, and I want to be really open with you about how I am because I don't want you feeling any worse. So I could easily disguise it and be like, oh, look at my abs, but I haven't got any. So yeah, that is me in a nutshell now, and that's where I'm at, and I'm just hoping it's going to go onwards from there. If any of you are on Slimming World and you've got any suggestions or anything like that, leave them down below, in terms of recipes or tips or anything like that. But obviously I will do another video as well, so if you were wanting to start because you're postpartum, I will tell you about my first like meeting and how it went and what happened, so you can feel less nervous about it, because it's really nothing to be nervous about and it's so amazing. I felt so sort of excited afterwards. So yeah, that is it. Here's hoping to some more positive and happy months now, because I need to put this behind me and I need to start being happy, really. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.